If you can't decide between a DJ or a live band for your wedding, this is the right video for you. Hi there! My name is Marius from Boogie Agenda Music Entertainment, and today's video is about a really important question that you might be asking yourself right now. Should I hire a live band or should I hire a DJ for my wedding? And to be honest, right from the start, this is a very personal decision. And I'm not here to tell you what might be better or what not to do. You know, I just want to give you a couple of things to think about and a couple of things to consider, especially the entertainment of your reception is such a core part of the whole day. And hopefully at the end, you're going to make a decision that makes you happy. All right. Let's jump right in. I have a couple of things I want to talk about. Number one is obviously, budget is such an important thing to talk about when it comes to entertainment and obviously your whole wedding. Based off a figure I found online, the average wedding band today costs about $4,500. DJs cost anywhere from $800 to $1,200. That really depends on where you're located in the US and obviously like your local market, right? I'm in Los Angeles, so most likely it's a little bit more expensive out here, but it really depends on where you're located. And the question you might be asking yourself right now is, why are bands so much more expensive? And here's the answer. Well, think about it. Most likely a DJ will show up just by themselves, they're a single professional working the event, versus a band, depending on how many musicians you book, might be like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 musicians plus a sound crew, right? So there might be somebody that is actually in charge of mixing the sound and making sure it sounds good. So, you know, right from the start, you have just way more people working for you. On top of that, bands, good bands, really spend a lot of time preparing for your special day. There's rehearsals involved, there's the preparation of sheet music involved, gear rental, gear transportation. Most likely bands set up way earlier than DJs, meaning they would probably show up to like 4 hours before your event to sound check and make sure everything is set up properly. Then they play a full-on 4-hour reception and then they tear down. So at the end of the day, the production of a band just involves way more effort and way more people. Now, here's my suggestion when you think about budget. Really consider the quality and the value of what you're paying versus what you're getting. For example, if you have $1,000 and you're looking to hire a band, you might be lucky and you might find somebody that can do it. Maybe a band, maybe 4, 5, 6 musicians. But really, when you start breaking down the numbers, $1,000 minus gear rental, maybe a van, who knows what all is involved. Maybe your musicians only end up with like $75, maybe $100 for the whole night. What do you think the quality and outcome is going to be? $75 for 4 hours, high energy entertainment. If you have $1,000 budget for your wedding entertainment, maybe the best decision, like right from the start, is just to go with a DJ. Play it safe, make sure like you find a good DJ. He's gonna be motivated, he's going to do a great job, you're gonna be safe, and everybody's going to be happy at the end of the night. Let's say you have a budget of $4,500 for your wedding entertainment. You're gonna do some research online, you'll find a wedding band, they're right on your budget. It might actually be a really good decision for you. So here's my point. You will always get what you're paying for. All right, here is number 2. When you're planning your wedding, most likely one of the first things that you're gonna look for is your venue. And sometimes venues have sound restrictions or cutoff times. Sometimes you have to be done by 10 p.m., sometimes you have to be done by midnight. There's really not much you could do about laws and regulations. So please make sure you talk to your wedding planner and you talk to your venue. Also, the other thing is maybe the dream venue that you're imagining might just not have enough space to accommodate a 10-piece band. But When it comes to space, a good DJ or a good band should be able to work with you. Of course, usually DJs have an easier job accommodating smaller venues, right? They only need a table, they need a power plug, and that's pretty much it. When it comes to a band, there's also a couple of things you can keep in mind when you need to accommodate smaller spaces. First thing is, just talk to your band. They probably already have a lot of experience working smaller venues. Maybe 5 musicians, or maybe a quartet, or maybe just a trio would actually be the perfect thing for you. Now, when it comes to volume and sound, obviously a DJ usually has an easier job just pulling down that little sound fader on the mixing console, and the sound volume is also going to go down. But keep this in mind, when you work with a really good professional band that has done many weddings before, they should have a lot of experience with these types of issues as well. Usually they come in with a sound engineer, and the whole job of a sound engineer is to make sure it sounds good and all the restrictions and the laws are followed properly. Here is my suggestion when it comes to finding the right DJ or finding the right band that can work in a small space. Really make sure you communicate all the different venue requirements and sound restrictions with your band or with your DJ beforehand. Make sure they are aware of these types of things. Another thing to really keep in mind is that you should have a clear point of contact for the band or for the DJ. If for some reason there is some kind of issue, you want to know who you can talk to. Somebody that either your wedding planner or somebody from the wedding party, or maybe even yourself, can talk to during the wedding and can let them know, listen, there's something going on, we should change that, can you do something about it? And then usually they'll figure it out. Alright, here is number 3. Now, DJs are known to have huge song libraries, any type of genre, any type of artist, any type of band, anything that you possibly can imagine a good DJ should be able to play. Now, DJs also play the original versions of songs that you're most likely familiar with. With bands, on the other hand, it's a little different. Good bands can still cover many different genres and artists, but there are some limitations. For example, if you hire a band that is specialized in soul, funk, R&B, Stevie Wonder, Justin Timberlake, Beyonce, and then you ask them to play Metallica, obviously there might be a limitation. However though, a good band should still be able, with some planning and some rehearsals, to accommodate a lot of the songs that you're imagining. So here's my advice when it comes to song selection for your wedding. When you talk to a band or a DJ, ask them if they can send you a song list or some kind of set list so that you can get familiar with that and you can really understand what they're all about. On top of that, I recommend just test them out a little bit. Ask them some questions. See how willing they are to learn some of your special requests. And I also highly recommend that you come up with a do not play list. Write that down. Do not play list. If there are any songs that you want to blacklist because you really don't want to hear them, whether it's YMCA or Ma Baker, whatever it is that you don't want to hear, make sure there's a do not playlist. Give that to the DJ, give that to the band so they really know what not to do. Moving on to the last one, number 4. If you hire a professional DJ or you hire a professional band, they know, or let's say they should know, how to interact and how to engage with an audience. However, I want to point out a couple of natural advantages and disadvantages that bands and DJs have over each other. Now, when you think of a DJ, usually it's one person standing behind a desk, and naturally they're kind of more separated from the audience. There's a lot of stuff between DJ and audience. Now, when you think about it, DJs are actually more heard than seen. But with bands, on the other hand, and especially think of the singers, they're like front row. They're like right in front of the audience. Your audience can literally touch them. They're like right there. There is the visual aspect. You can see the different musicians. They're playing their instruments. There's a lot of visual entertainment going on. And the sound. There's two things. With a DJ, it's pretty much only the sound. Think about your great-grand-aunt Nancy. She might not be able to dance, but she's still able to watch and eat the cheesecake while she's watching the show. So that's pretty cool, right? And here's the question that I get a lot when I talk to brides and grooms on the phone. How about breaks? Is it not better to have a DJ because DJs never take breaks? And that's true. I agree. The good thing with a DJ for sure is that they have ways to like automate the music, and even if they have to run to the restroom, which we all do sometimes, there will still be music playing and the party is never going to stop. Here's my suggestion when working with a band. Always make sure you still prepare some pre-recorded music. Maybe have a playlist ready for like the little breaks in between. A good band should be able to plan that ahead with you. Again, at the end, you always want to make sure that there's never silence, never any awkward silence, and the party never stops. Again, what I said in the beginning, this question about band versus DJ is probably one of the most argued questions when it comes to wedding planning. And again, it's a very personal question, so there's not really any like one size solution fits all. If you put the money and the space restrictions and all that stuff to aside for a second, it really comes down to two things. Maximum song variety on one end versus uniqueness and a personal one-of-a-kind experience on the other end. Ask yourself, what's more important to you? Do you want thousands and thousands and thousands of songs that sound exactly the way that you're familiar with? If that's what you want, you should probably go with a DJ. On the other hand, if you care more about creating something special, something that people are going to remember for years and years and years and years to come, an entertainment experience that is truly unique and that only happened once at your wedding, you should probably go with a live band. Alright everybody, thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope I answered some of your questions. Again, those are some of the most common questions that we get a lot here at Boogie Agenda. Leave some comments below, let me know if there's any questions. Email address is also below this video, so let me know. We'll love to help you out, even if you're not local to the Southern California area. We'd still love to answer any of your questions. Have a great time, hope to hear from you soon. Bye bye.